At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like knowing you're covered when your house gets flooded, getting your settlements quickly and fairly when a fire hits your home, and making sure your business can keep going even after an accident happens on site. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
The team unity government should be pleased with the election results in Nevis, as this is an indication that it is heading in the right direction politically. That is the view of political pollster Peter Wickham of Cadres in Barbados.
I don't know that the Labour Party would want us to think that, and perhaps they will push back against that. But yeah, I think it's great that for them, because it says that at some level, as part of the union, that people are essentially supporting the Team Unity platform. It was not too long ago in Tobago where we saw a local election in Tobago in which the People's Partnership partner in Tobago did very badly. Against that background, it was easy to see what was going to happen to the Kamala Persad-Bissessar administration at the national level when elections came. And I mean, everyone who understands the way that this thing works understands that wherever you have local government, invariably it is a reflection of what happens at the national level. I mean, the logical exception to that would probably be Barbuda. Barbuda is a special case, but it is a micro island government in so many ways. And I think that Nevis has sufficient critical mass to tell us a lot about what's happening on the mainland. So my feeling is that it is an endorsement for the Team Unity platform.
Mr. Wickham reiterated that the Concerned Citizens Movement CCM of Mark Brantley had continued its growing trend over the last few elections, and he was not surprised that they won 4 of the 5 seats up for grabs. Mr. Wickham noted that the new seat that the CCM won from the Nevis Reformation Party, NRP, the St. Paul's constituency, was a marginal seat. He said there was enough information that the seat could have been won by either party. The previous representative of the area, NRP's Roberto Hector, said he's challenging the result of that seat in the court due to what he alleged are electoral irregularities on and prior to election day.
That seat was the weakest of the 4 for the NRP, and it was not surprising that it was the first one that fell to the CCM. So there was really no surprise in it. I don't know that it was really about individuals in that particular seat necessarily. I think it was more about a national conversation that Nevisians are having. When I say national, at the level of Nevis, that showed that there was a swing across the board towards the CCM, and it was reflected in all of the seats that the CCM held, not just that one. So before that they held, they all showed an improvement. The one that they did not win, there was also a swing towards the CCM, and that one is just it wasn't big enough for them to bring it home. So I would prefer not to look at that seat on an individual basis and see it as part of a conversation. If it was a situation where the performance in that seat was unusual, then I would have been surprised at the outcome. But it was not unusual. It was consistent with the swings that we've seen across the board.
Meanwhile, regarding the Nevis Reformation Party, Mr. Wickham said it has to seek new youthful leadership in order to challenge the CCM for government next election.
I also heard the argument largely because Patrice Nisbet at the federal level runs in a seat which occupies a lot of the space which would have been Premier Parry's home ground. So he has the strength at the federal level that could say that. But I personally am not seeing Patrice Nisbet in that role, and I say that notwithstanding the fact that I consider Patrice a friend. As the Premier Brantley, I also consider him a friend, and I think that Patrice is a decent fellow. I think, however, that his elevation to national office, his association with Labour Party, and the fact that he has declined to take part in local politics in more recent times suggests to me that he's operating on a different level now, and perhaps he would not be the logical alternative to Premier Parry. I think he may very well have been in the past, but I think he's been tainted a lot by the machinations in the iron days of the Labour administration.
Mr. Wickham has said that Mr. Parry had served Nevis and the Nevis Reformation Party well, and it was time for him to step down. Mr. Parry, in January, announced that he was resigning from his post as leader of the party. The Nevis Island Assembly was sworn in earlier this week after the December 18th election. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.